If you're in a hurry to create a website and don't have the confidence to build your own layout, you might want to consider using one of Dreamweaver's predefined layouts. You access the predefined layouts by going to the File menu, selecting New, and in the New Document dialog box select Blank Page and HTML as the page type. And in the Layout column here you've got a choice of two layouts. Older versions of Dreamweaver had considerably more, but these are the basic two layouts that are still left in Dreamweaver, and they both use HTML5 structural elements. If you select the first one, two-column fixed, right sidebar, header and footer, you get this little preview here, and it explains that it's two columns, all widths in pixels, with a right sidebar, header and footer. You might wonder why there isn't one with a left sidebar. Well, it's very easy to move the sidebar from the right to the left. And the other one is a three-column fixed header and footer. So in this one you've got sidebars on both sides. Let's choose the two-column fixed right sidebar, header and footer so I can show you how to move the sidebar to the other side. Leave doc type at HTML5. Layout CSS, you've got the option to add it to the head of the document, or if you open this menu you can create a new file or link to an existing file. I recommend that you create a new file, so this creates a separate style sheet, and then when you create subsequent pages you can select link to existing file, and any changes that you've made to the style sheet will be inherited by those new pages. So let's select create new file and then click create. And Dreamweaver immediately prompts you to save the style sheet, and it gives it the name HTML5_2col fixed right header, so you know exactly what it's for. I'm going to save it in the styles folder of my exercise site and then just click save. And basically you've got a very simple site, the two-column layout and the footer at the bottom. And all you need to do is to start selecting the text and changing it. All the text in the page actually gives you instructions of how to use one of these predefined layouts. And if you open the style sheet, I'll click it in the Related Files toolbar, there is a large number of CSS comments in there which explain what each style rule is for. So even if you're not very familiar with CSS, if you read through these instructions you should be able to make some simple changes to the predefined layout, making it look more like your own web page. I'm going to close split view and then I'll show you how to move this sidebar from the right to the left. So let's just close the Files panel and then in the CSS Designer select the style sheet in the Sources pane, and then what we need to look for is the sidebar. There it is, sidebar 1. If we select that and then click Show Set, we can see the properties that have been set for it. And down here you can see that it has been floated to the right. So if you change that to float left, it moves to the other side, and it's as simple as that. This small navigation menu here has got 4 dummy links in it. If you want to add another link, just click at the end of the last one and then press Enter or Return. It looks as though you've got nothing new, but you can then start typing. It doesn't turn into the same type of style as a link until you select it and then put a link in the link field. I'm just going to put in a dummy link, and as soon as I press Tab you can see that the style changes to exactly the same as the other links. One of the problems of using a predefined layout like this is that if you don't understand either HTML or CSS, you could find it just as difficult to work with one of these predefined layouts as starting from scratch. So rather than using one of these predefined layouts in the rest of the course, what I'm going to do is to show you exactly how to build a web page from a blank page, to build it completely from scratch. And by doing so you'll learn all the important techniques of website design and development. But where you might find these predefined layouts really helpful is by reading through the CSS comments in the style sheet, and it will explain a great deal of how web pages are styled. And the predefined layouts are also extremely useful for experimentation. If you just want to start off with something basic and then start experimenting, certainly do try working with one of these two layouts.